pest and vermin infestation, mold that has caused mushrooms to grow, asbestos, extreme heat or cold in classrooms, peeling paint and broken flooring, severe overcrowding, non-functional bathrooms, unhealthy air quality. These are just a few examples of the appalling physical conditions found in thousands of our nation's public schools. These and other problems with school buildings are chronicled in the AFT's newest report, Building Minds, Minding Buildings, turning crumbling schools into environments for learning.
For the richest nation on the face of the earth, we ought to be very embarrassed and ashamed of the conditions in which we send precious children. We stress learning and student achievement, but we neglect what it takes to have students achieve. If we're serious about raising standards in this country, we have to raise the standards of the buildings that we send our students to.
There is a relationship between achievement and the buildings that children spend their lives in. There's a relationship between the resources available to children and the state of those buildings.
The AFT report was created based on the responses of over 1,000 school employees to a survey on the physical environment in their schools. Many of the responses revealed startling building conditions.
It's not a third world country. It's the United States of America, and our children are living in urban decay. We need to save the building. We need to plaster down. We need to be repointed. We need the water sealant on. I'm standing on a piece of wood that is empty on two sides. Water comes in, goes into the classroom, and then it goes on the heads of the staff and essentially the students. We need a place that's warm and safe, some place to learn.
There's roofs leaking, there's windows broken, there's heating systems that don't work. There are classrooms shoved into what were never intended to be classrooms, with the heating pipes going along the ceiling.
I actually taught in a building where thankfully the kindergarten teacher had her seats arranged in a square around the edge of the room because in fact the ceiling did come down. Luckily it came down in the middle of the room and it came down when students weren't in the classroom. But that's how dire the situation is.
The research is indisputable. Poor building conditions are a serious threat to the health and academic performance of students. Study after study shows that academic achievement is significantly lower in schools with poor conditions.
I love my job and I love my students. I think they're amazing and I learn from them every day. I love creating innovative programs that get them excited about learning, but it's very hard to do that work when my students are sick a lot, which I think is partly because our carpets are moldy. So they're absent, they miss a lot of school. I'm sick, so I'm not the best teacher I can be when I'm here when I'm ill.
Things don't have to be this way. The AFT believes that healthy, well-maintained schools that are conducive to learning cannot be reserved for select communities. They must be a part of the academic agenda for every American student. That is why the AFT is launching its Building Minds, Minding Buildings campaign.
This report points to, in all three levels, local, state, and federal, what each of those groups can do in order to solve this problem.
The union's stepping up and bringing attention to this because we care about how our students are doing. And we certainly hope that our states and federal government will step up and do what we need to do to ensure that the environments that our students are in are the very best that we can possibly make them so that we can have the kind of quality learning environment that they deserve.
We do everything we can as a staff, and the staff here is excellent to make this a good, positive learning environment, but we don't have the time and there isn't the money to pay other people to do the work to keep the school the way that the kids deserve.